Okay, let's see. How does this look here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that looks pretty good. Go ahead and get out of this. Transfer back over to here. And it looks like we're in business. Okay, what time is it? It is my local time. 13. Well, actually, that wouldn't. Military time would be 0100. And of course, that's in the AM. And that's our start time. Okay, then I would do my normals. Let's see if I can find it here. There it is, right there. That'll help remind me. Okay, so we could go ahead and switch screens since I'm using two of them. And we want to go back into this one right here where Den does creative, right? Yeah, I believe that's right. And we want to pick up where. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Okay, escape, exit the main menu. Alright, let's try this again. Play. Oh, it's this one. Den creative mode, I bet. Yeah, because the score is kind of low comparison. So it's probably this one right here. Yep, that looks correct. Okay, so if you remember right, we got this one going with a nice 600%. So we've got three, plus we've got another one of these heaters over there inside the shelter that's inside that tunnel system. And so that gives us four. What we have not done is we had not put the fourth one of these down. So I would want to be doing that. I would need to collect one titanium and one iron. And I like to put these toe to toe, so like so. And then I would want to run back in here and I want to see how we're doing. Ooh, we're really getting down right to the bare minimum of keeping everything running. Now I need to go in here and I need to take out one of these and one of these and throw them over the side because I just used them so that we could simulate using up resources like we would in the normal game. Now I do have these right here so I could still go ahead and focus on getting in another one of those oxygen. So let's see. What would be unlocked right now? I think I've got the T3 backpack already, don't I? No, I don't. So I would be wanting to make a T3 backpack. So I need two aluminum, a titanium, and a silicon. There's a silicon and there's a titanium. So now I need to toss over the side. And two of these because we just used them up. Okay. Now the next thing we would want to do, of course, is another heater. And that would be one of these since we have not unlocked the other option yet. And we would have to toss over the side one iridium, iron, and silicon. Iron, iridium, and a silicon, which I don't have right now. So I would need to run around and see if by chance there's one nearby before we run out of oxygen. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Here's one. Okay, now before I run out of oxygen, I gotta get back here and recharge, but we'll throw this over the side first. Okay, so I just picked up a silicon. So I guess it figured we already used it. Interesting. All right, and by now we would have used probably another food pack. We would have made some water to drink, and we probably, no, I don't think we would have used that just yet. But we would need to run back in here and recharge our oxygen supply. Of course, this is all simulated right now. All right, so we've got, so we need another one of these veggie tubes. So I would probably want to stick it right here in this corner. And did this one open up yet? The T2? No, yes it did, right there. So from here on out, we want to use the T2. There we go. And we want to put in, no, we want to put this one there because it's got a booster of 200%. Okay, so we got that covered. And then we want another heater. And then after that, we would want to be doing, well, we've got to toss off the side some resources here. I don't have any iridium with me. There we go. And normally we would have used up another iron and another silicon too. And I don't have either one yet. So we would be trying to run around and find an iron and a silicon. There's one. And there's one. And now we need to throw all this off the side since we've already used it. Now, are you catching on to why I can get more done than you can in an hour? What I could do in 1 hour would take you probably two. Alright, so now I want to do another one of these drills. Surprisingly, we didn't pull down our power yet. Okay, it's recharge. And how much power? Oh, we don't have any kilowatts left. Look at that. So our next priority would obviously be one of these, unless this is opened up. Has unlocked. Let's check. Nope, not yet. Yeah, we're still going to have to depend on those. But that larger T2 does open up in a little while, but it's 17 and a half kilowatts. Or not kilowatts, kilo TI, whatever TI stands for. It might be terraforming index or score. Okay, now do we have a T3 backpack? No, so that's our next priority. And we're going to need 2 aluminum, titanium, and silicon. So let's go find the titanium and silicon. See, our circle is getting bigger and bigger, and our resources are getting smaller and smaller nearby. I better go ahead and collect this one and discard it because I think we've used it already. Alright, let's race back. Make sure we've got 2 aluminum. Don't have any spare. Well, we do have 2. And we don't have any spare either. Okay, so now we would do this one. Oh, it's actually using the stuff right out of our inventory. Well, that's kind of cool. Okay, so now, whoops, wrong thing. So now we're up to T3. Okay, what else would we want to be making right now? I'm going to have to check over here first. Okay, that one hasn't opened up yet, but we do have a T2 heater now. Progression screen, I think we put that up already, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Okay, and nothing else is opened up except the T2 heater. Now the T2 heater requires 2 iridium, silicon, titanium, and aluminum. So we don't have any choice. We got to make a run for our place that we can gather what we need. I better pick up one of these while we're here because we're going to need to make some more water. There's the silicon right there. There's the titanium. Just one right now. Okay, we recharge our oxygen. Lots and lots of running around. See, is that an iron? Yes, it is. Boom. So, what we could do is we could gather 2 iridium as fast as we can. I see some up there. Is there any more down here? Yeah, there's still some down here. So let's use this up first. Now I need an aluminum. There's one right there. And there's another one. And there's another aluminum. And any more in this area? Oh, there's one right there. Let's grab that too. Okay, about now we need to run back in and recharge. And what we would do is we would decommission this one. And the reason why we do that, you see what this requires? 1, 1, and 1. But this one requires 2 and a few additional items. So of course this would be the first place we would install one. It brings down our power. And we have to live off of this, so I need 2 cobalt. Cobalt's pretty plentiful up here. Whoops, that's not cobalt. There's 1. There, and there's the other one. Now, it might seem a little strange, but you can actually put these in here. The only catch is you can't see your shadow. So turn off your light and you say, well, geez, which way do I point this thing? Well, the game doesn't seem to care. See there? The game just doesn't seem to care. So then we run back in here and we replenish our oxygen. Now we just improved our heat index, so we might have unlocked something. But before we go back to the headquarters, so to speak, we want to gather some more iridium. And if we go up this little bridge right here, we're going to need some more aluminum, so we better grab that too. Okay, so we're going to have to quit most likely by now. Run over here and recharge our oxygen. Alrighty. And then we can make a run for our next recharge pod, which is right there. Okay, we're recharged and we would make a run for what I call headquarters. And at the moment we're going just as fast as we can. There we go. And then of course what we do is we start taking these apart. And we're going to move them into this new compartment area with the upgrade T2. Oh, what's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, I see. I see what I did. All right, there we go. And then I'll put another one right beside it. And then I'll come out here and I will take these two apart. And of course, I'm assuming I have enough stuff to do this with it. Enough aluminum. Aluminum has now become a primary resource for us. And we just brought down our power grid. So now we have to focus on, did we open up the new option yet? No, we have not. The T2 solar panel. So we'll have to make a T1 solar panel again. Now, if you don't have enough stuff in your inventory to make a T1 solar panel, then you're going to have to satisfy yourself with some more windmills. And remember what I said about the shadows? You want to line these up, get them nice and close. All right, so now we would probably be looking to get some more aluminum. And right now, our best source would be up here. So we'd run up here and probably pick up some of this titanium while we're at it. And the silicone because we want to make a door. Recharge. Of course, it'll take you a little bit longer than that to recharge. We would need another one of those, and we would need iron. And already we're having trouble finding iron in a reasonable time period before we run out of oxygen. Spacebar, spacebar, spacebar to hop around. Okay, recharge our oxygen. There we go. Iron, excellent. Notice I'm not really collecting very much in the way of magnesium. I just don't need it very often right now. More iron. But I'm basically interested in, use this ramp right here. I'm basically interested in aluminum and iridium. There we go. But see, notice that we're starting to run out of options as far as finding the resources we need. This happens rather quickly in this game. So we keep going from one level to the next, looking for what we need. Now, I didn't realize that about this option I'm using right now, creative. But if you actually collect the resources that you need for the next improvement, they will use the resources. So you don't have to toss them over the side like I was doing to simulate using the resources. About now I would need to recharge my oxygen. Now something else I should call to your attention. If by chance you want to run but you push down the shift key first and then you try to add the W key, your avatar won't move. It'll stay right there. You've got to push the W key down first and then add the shift key. If you do it that way, your avatar will move. It'll start off with a walk and it may only take one or two steps. And then as soon as you activate the shift key, it'll go back into run mode. Alright, let's jump up in here. How's our power? Not too good. So we want to focus on putting another one of these in before we do anything else. And we want to match up our shadows with a slight gap between them, like so. And of course I'm trying to keep them all aligned. So I want the bottoms and the tops to, be squared up. Alright, so did we unlock anything else yet? No. Oh, we did. Oh, I don't remember even doing the T1 yet. Let's see, let's check that out. Yep, I didn't do it yet. So what I have to do, I want to leave the backpack in there, but I want to take this one or one of these two out and make it a space. And then I want to go in here and see. This is what I'd start with. Titanium, silicon, and magnesium. Now, it's not going to automatically shift over. You have to, but see what it does? You have to use the left click on the mouse to get it over here. Now you can put this one back over there. And then you can use this to kind of align those things up. So if now we do have the T2 option already open, so let's go ahead and do that one. You got to turn in the T1. You got to have titanium, silicon, two magnesium, and an aluminum. But now it'll transfer over automatically. See, it's not in here. It went over there automatically, and it gives you four more slots. See how that works? Okay, now let's dump over the side some resources that we've used. And actually, we've got a slight deficit going on here because we didn't toss over the side everything we would have used by now. And I'm going to toss over one more of these. There we go. And then we come up here, we notice we've got some food. So we'll go ahead and add this one. Oops, I hit the down arrow, didn't I? Got to click here at the top. Okay, and then I want to add the ice. And I would want to add the aluminum. And I don't think I've used those two yet, but I'm going to assume I did. Okay, so just like we did before, we want to add these first. And I don't think this one's unlocked yet, because that is the better choice once it is unlocked. Let's see. When does it unlock? There it is. Yep, that's it right there. So we've got a long ways before that will unlock. So we'll have to stick with the regular, and that would be this one right here. And we'll put in anything we can. And right now it's going to be the vine that they call Lorma seed. No bonus, but it does create oxygen. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 4, 5 of those. How about, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we would be interested in collecting some more options for oxygen because we're working on number 6. At this point, we want to go ahead and we want to clear out these boxes. Take whatever is in there and take the boxes away. Then we're going to recharge our oxygen. 1, 2, 3. Actually, you would have to stay in there longer than that. And the next box is over here. And the next one is up here. Oh, and we cannot collect everything. But by now we would probably want to be making... Oh, that's right, my inventory is full. So I would have to come over here in the corner and drop something. Let's drop both of these. Now, in the near future, super alloy is going to be real important to me. And these are already important to me if we have the vegetable grower, the food grower, unlocked. Okay. Now, remember, this stuff over here is not unlocked yet. So now let's go ahead and grab these. And come back over here. We still don't have enough space. So I'm going to drop these right here on the ground. So I could go ahead and clear this up. And then we would want to race ourselves to the next one. So your memory is going to get a bit of an exercise. If you remember the next one we put in, it was up over here. Uh-oh, it wasn't actually. Well, we want to get up here where there's a little bit of a flat spot and put us in another shelter. Let's see, move it down. It's not very flat there, is it? Here we go. That's a little bit better. Boy, we don't have not having much luck finding a flat spot, are we? All of these have a pretty steep grade to them. Oh, that's probably the best we could do right there. And then, of course, we want to put in a door. 1, 2, 3, we're charged. Then we'd run back down here. And we would try to, of course, that's a priority though. And we'll figure we've already used this. We've already used one of those because we just made a shelter. And then we did a door. So I need to dump this. And oh, I don't have another one, do I? Well, anyway, the idea is we want to figure, okay, what did we use? We probably used up those. And we probably used one of those by now. We probably used both of those because we made some oxygen bottles. Now let's see. It's going to look a little funny with that resources dropping all over the place. But we are trying to remember what we've used and simulate. Okay, so then we would want to install something like this right there. And let's see, I do have one, but I really need two. All right, so let's see. The next shelter we made was down here. And where did we find that golden chest? If I remember right, we did not strip out that golden chest yet. Oh yeah, I need to gather these and dump them as being already used. About now we're going to need to recharge our oxygen. There we go. Now I should have made another, oh, my inventory is still full, so we'll have to do like we did before. Come over here and start dumping some stuff. Okay. Now, by now we would have wanted to make one of those. At least one of those. Yeah, that's about right. Let's see, and let's dump Yeah, let's dump it right here. Because I'm pretty sure I would have used this, 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 one of those. And that's probably about it for now. Organize. Now I could put this over now since I've got extra space. I don't want to use this one right now. Okay, so am I trapped by something? Probably these two right here. Yeah, so now let's come over here and dump them. Because we're counting these as being used already. Ah, we did not empty this. Let's go ahead and empty it this time. And then we would make a beeline for this shelter here. As you can see, we're going to have to put shelters all over the place at the beginning of the game. And then we're going to make, I can't make that one yet. So now we want to dump some resources. We probably would have used those. I'm not so sure, but I think I would have used these two by now. And the water bottle. Okay, and then we would have wanted to beat it over to this other shelter before we had a problem with oxygen starvation. And we would already be thinking about needing another shelter. So we would collect all the resources for that as long as our oxygen was holding out. We want another oxygen bottle. And let's see, I still need more. And then I need some titanium. I'm not finding much titanium right now, am I? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's iron. All right, so let's grab it. Oops, can't. We're full. Get it here and recharge. And then see if by chance we left that blue crate out. Yeah, we did. We didn't do the blue crate completely yet. All right, now let's dump off some stuff we probably used by now. So it'd be 1, 2, and then we use one of those and one of those. So that looks pretty close to where we would be accurate. We grab everything out of here. I'm going to dump these two, even though we probably didn't use them yet. Okay, and then we recharge, and then we would head down. You could just use the spacebar to hop over this stuff. I think I still owe the game one or two of these titanium. Oh, inventory's full again. Okay, did I build a shelter over here yet? It does not look like it. And about now I would want to. And I would want to have one of these in here. And then I would want to build some extra oxygen. And I want to change to deconstruct. See, there it is right there. Then we want to come in here. Another convict they sent in the built places around here, but he never did terraform. He never finished the job. But look at all this nice stuff. So let's see, let's organize it. This is a priority for us right now. So are these. So that's the best we could do right now. Now we could put one of those back and to grab another one of these, organize it, and we're going to have to make another trip back. So we would go over here and we would recharge, and then we would head back towards headquarters, but chances are we wouldn't quite make it because we've been noticing our oxygen level is getting kind of low. So right about here somewhere, we would be putting up another shelter. And I think it's a little flatter right over here. It's kind of hard to find a good flat spot, isn't it? Well, if you have to build like that, then you're going to want to go to the low side to put in your door. That way you can just walk right in, recharge, walk right back out. And now you could probably make it all the way back to headquarters. Oops, still full. All right, let's see how we're doing on power. Ooh, kind of low. And have we unlocked anything? Let's see, do I have a T3 oxygen? Nope, I've still got the T2. So I'd want to do the T3. There we go. Oh, my inventory is full. It won't let me exchange it. So I would have to come out here, put something in storage. That one's already full. So I would probably want to transfer those over. And since I haven't used that right yet, or that, or these two, there we go, we'll organize it. And then the other thing I'd want to do is I'd want to look at my blueprints that I discovered, since that would help me unlock stuff. Okay, so now we could probably focus on T3. All right, and what else did we unlock? Oh, we haven't started doing those yet, have we? We haven't done anything with that yet either. Yeah, we're getting a little bit behind. We should have started putting these out. But I remember, we still all of these are, yeah, they're still T1. Now you don't have to take those up. you can leave them doing their job and just add the better ones. All right, which would be these right here. So I like to do toe to toe. And then if I have the resources, I'd go ahead and do another one. And of course, we drag down our power. So we'd be looking to put in another one of these short ones. And I don't think we've opened up the T2s yet. Double check here. Oh, we did. We did. I think we already did the. Let's check. Let's make sure we did the T3. Yep, we did. And what else? Now we got to start using those. And then we're going to have to transfer over to those. Did I do a T2 yet? Yes, I did. And so we'd probably want to put in a couple more of those. And then we would start with these. Just keep in mind I'm simulating. So you would have to run around and collect their materials. But now you can see that it's very important that we start doing the bigger ones. Solar panels. Now, the nice thing about these is you can back up, rotate them, make sure, see we're pointing the wrong direction. Okay, that looks pretty square, but we can put these real close to the smaller ones. And then later on we might take down the smaller ones, but not right now because we're hurting for power. Now I'm going to assume that by now we would have went ahead and installed another one. It's the same deal as before. You try to line up the shadows like so. And, and of course you're not going to be able to line them up right behind each one of these smaller ones. Okay. And our hour is getting pretty close to being used. All right, did we unlock anything else? Oh, we did by putting those up. Well, we're going to hold off on doing this. We can now use locker storage. But the one thing that I really need because of the iron shortage problem is not yet available to us. And that is the drill, the ore extractor. Yep, because it takes 3 of those to make just one. And we're just not finding all that much iron anymore. We're running around like crazy by now looking for more iron. And you just have to go further and further and further away. So it's becoming important to keep making extra oxygen cylinders so you don't get out here and then die from oxygen starvation. You can replenish your oxygen before you croak. See what I mean? See, iron becomes a big deal, and it's kind of hard to keep making oxygen cylinders so you can extend your range before you start having problems with oxygen starvation. because you need 2 cobalt each time. So you're going to be kind of collecting all these that are nearby too. It becomes a real contest in a very short time to keep up with your oxygen requirements. And as you can see, we're pretty well stripping down all the resources nearby our headquarters building. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase the size of our headquarters. So actually we need to take this down, but we can't right now. So what we'll do is we'll extend this out in the front. Hold down the control key for a second before we click, so we don't have to keep calling up the menu again. Okay, I'm going to quit there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start putting up another storage, but this time I'm going to start using the bigger ones, like so. And then I'm going to put everything in there I can, and then I'm going to start stripping these out and loading this up. Now I can't do another one because I need 2 more of these. I got 1 in reserve, but I don't have what I need. So we would be running down in here and we would be looking for more iron to harvest. And we would want to get as much as we can before we croak from oxygen starvation. Come on, game, pick it up. Because now our focus is going to be on changing out and expanding our storage facility. And we got a hop, hop, hop. There we go. That did the trick. And we'll just go ahead and put another one right next to it. Try to get it all squared up nice and pretty. Hold down the control for a second and then click. Put another one right next to it. Hold down the control, click, and one more if we can. Then we would be coming over here and taking this one down. And then we're not going to get too carried away about organizing just yet. We're just trying to get this started. Now I would want one of these and I would want 2 iron, but I don't have 2 iron because I want to extend the headquarters building. Let's see, let's go ahead and collect that one too. But again, iron is the critical issue, the thing that is top priority right now. There's some more iron. Because each time we extend our structure upstairs, we're going to have to need 1 titanium and 2 iron. And as you can see, collecting iron is a real big deal. It's kind of spread around, and everything else is easier to collect. The only exception would be silicon. Silicon seems to be something that you're going to run out of kind of quick too. And when you go to replenish your storage of silicon, you're going to have a little trouble keeping it full because you use it to make quite a few things. Mostly your interest stores and stuff and your machines. Alright, so now we'll go inside since we've got that space cleared. And we want to use our cursor to roll up and extend. And that's probably the best we could do right now. Now let's see, what else did we unlock? We've got the antenna. We've unlocked it, so we want to put that up. So we don't have the ability yet to get up on the roof by using a jetpack. So one way to get around that is to first put down the smaller one, move it kind of square it up like so, jump on it, and then jump up on here, and then see if you can jump up there. Now chances are you're not going to be able to. So you're going to want to see if by chance it'll let you stack it. Of course it won't. So that means you're going to have to go to using stairs. Right here. Now normally these are unlocked already, but notice you cannot put them on top of your foundations. You have to line them up and then see where it locks in. But that doesn't really solve your problems. See, you still can't get up there. So what you have to do is take your stairs all down, put it in another foundation, and back it up one more. Now put down your stairs and see if by chance once it locks in you can keep putting stairs on top of stairs. Usually you can, but not always. So we might have to elevate it slightly like so, then hop up, and then we can most likely put this in here like so. It's a little bit further away than I want it, so I'm going to move it a little bit closer. Now usually you can lock this in real close, but it's not letting me. But anyway, we've got the problem solved. We're up here. Now we'll put on our antenna. Looks like a radar dish, doesn't it? There it goes. It looks like I'm going to have to put it, yeah, I'm going to have to put it right there. I can't back off enough without falling off the roof. Soon as something opens up, you want to try to get it installed. Alright, did we unlock anything else? Yes, we did. Food grower. We've got that, so now we could do a food grower. About now we're having trouble not having enough packets that we've picked up out of the storage crates. So this food grower is real important to us. Aluminum, iron, and water. So you're going to have to melt some ice. And we want to start about there. And put in as many as we can, as fast as we can. Now, it does require a lot of electric. And what you want to do, of course, is you want to look in your inventory and see if you got any of those food packets. Well, we don't. So we'll have to focus on, for now, collecting the resources we need for another one of these. And again, we match up the shadows. And then we go look and see what we've got. Well, let's go ahead and take this out of the way first. Food packets. Right now, the only thing we have is these, and they do not provide all that much nutrition. But that's all we got, so we have to use it. And you want to put this in as soon as possible. Let's see, did we restore? No, we did not. So we gotta go collect aluminum and stuff that we need and keep putting these in. There we go. Now we got things working again. Likely we don't have a lot of extra kilowatts. Alright, we just used up about 4 of those. We used up at least 2 of those. And let's see, what else did we use up? Magnesium, silicon, and iron. Magnesium. And I don't actually have any silicon to work with, do I? No, so I would have had to run around and collect some of that. But let's go ahead and discard these items since we've already used them. It's not that easy to simulate what you do in a normal game. But we have our storage facility started. So now we'll take this one down because we want to reclaim the resources and reuse them. Now, I probably should show you this since I didn't do this yet. Oh. Well, we're going to kind of do it like someone that's pretty smart with this game. I'll tell you what, let's just throw these extra materials down here on the ground. Because we can always pick them back up later. No sweat. But priority now, so that I got to demonstrate what I think you should see. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw all this down here again. I should probably throw 2 of those over the side here, because I'm sure we would have eaten them by now. And our personal inventory wouldn't have much left. And that's why planting those eggplants would have been such an important thing to us. Alright, make sure we're at the edge here. In fact, I probably should throw at least 2 more of these over the side, simulating the fact that we'd already ate it. Consumed the space food. Now, normally by now, that crashed rocket spaceship over there, I would have at least opened up 1 or 2 boxes in there. Alright, now what I want to show you is another way that you design storage. And it's a pretty smart way of doing it. Once you get these lockers open, so I'll hold down the control key, boom, then I'll go forward a little bit. Now when it turns green, I want to back up 1 to where it turns yellow. Hold down the control key for a second, and then do that again, back up 1. Okay, now the reason why you do that, oops, I got that one off a little bit. Let's redo that. Because I want these to be lined up real good. See what happens when you back it up just once and then install it? It eliminates that gap between them. Now the reason why you do this is because later on you're going to open up the sign, and you're going to put it right there on the top. And you're going to say these 3 lockers are going to contain something. Now I'm going to go ahead and say super alloy, because the game always puts that one first. And then what you're going to do, now you might want to decide to do this on the inside, but it's really going to cramp your style because these things use up so much space. And as you can see, we've already used a lot of space because this stuff here must go on the inside. We cannot put it on the outside. So you're going to burn up a lot of construction materials, 2 iron and 1 titanium, trying to make this bigger and bigger and bigger to take care of storage. But while you're working your storage on the outside, you're going to be very frustrated by the fact that you're going to keep dying if you don't keep an eye on your oxygen. You're going to have to keep taking a break, run in here, recharging, come out here, do a little bit of work, run back in here, recharge, do a little more work. So it gets pretty frustrating after a while. Okay, now to continue the process of show and tell here, I would come up here, I would leave a small gap between one set and the next set, and I would face the lockers this way. See, I'm still putting them real close, and I'm using the R like in Roger Rabbit and T like in Tom Key. Oh, that one there is a, well, actually these two need to be redone, but see, I got a small gap there. I think that small gap is kind of important, so because you want to be able to make it as obvious as you can, I'm going to turn my flashlight on, that you've got a new set of materials. Now you see why that the fact that you don't have 100% oxygen can be so frustrating? Now when you do it that way, you do have a slight gap that can appear between here. See there? Now I don't know why it's different, but you still need 3 lockers as a minimum, so you can put the sign on there. Once that opens up, I don't think it's opened up yet for us. So these 3 lockers are going to be dedicated to whatever shows up next in your inventory. And usually it's food, but it might be aluminum. And you would normally do this because you're doing a multiplayer game and you've got other people that are bringing in resources. So what that means is you would want to have some lockers out here about, oh, right about here, I think. Turn them sideways. And you would probably start, no, that overhang is a little bit much. I want to get them squared up to this one here. Now let's go this way with it. And it's kind of hard to see. Can you see the outside edge of this locker? that looks like it's right on the edge. You see there? It's right on the edge. You've got enough space to where you can get through here. It's tight fit though. So I'm going to have to move that out just a little bit more. Huh. Why is it doing that? I've already canceled the operation. But for some reason it's still determined to take that out. There it goes. The game hesitated for some reason. So I probably should face this way when I go to put this in. Because I need to put it right on the edge like that with a very slight overhang. Move it forward just a little bit. Yeah, like that. It's kind of a mimic and it gives me a bigger space to pass through. And it should not interfere with me adding some more foundations in connection. Alright, so now we want to put in some more lockers. But this time we may only want to put in 2. Okay, wait till it turns green, then back it up 1. And we'll put a, I don't know why, but if it's facing this way, there's no real gap in there. But if it faces the other way, there is. And I don't know what I'm doing different. Well, anyway, if you, depending on how many people are playing multiplayer with you, you probably only need 2. And 2 is just the right size to put a sign on. Now you want to call this miscellaneous. But other players, they don't use the word miscellaneous. And that tells the other players as they're collecting materials, they can put anything and everything in these 2 lockers. So you would not care what it is because you're managing storage. Unfortunately, you can't just let anyone do storage. What happens if you let more than one person manage storage is it's one of those situations where you got too many cooks stirring the same soup pot and things get kind of sloppy and they might even start some arguments over where things should be or how it should be organized because a lot of people will want to do this thing alphabetically and other people will want to do it, which like me, the same way it shows up in your inventory. And can I... now it's not going to let me pass through there. I'll tell you what. Instead of putting the sign there, let's put the sign on the outside like this. Because I think that's what the problem is. And we'll also use what other people normally do. Now if you're playing solo, 2 of these butted together like this, holding the same resource, is plenty. You probably will never use this one where you got 3 of them holding the same item. So instead of saying miscellaneous, you'd probably say something like upload. Alright, let's see if that cleared the problem. Yeah, that cleared the problem. And then that's to indicate to the other players on a multiplayer game that they would put anything and everything in here. Now, why is that important? Okay, I'll grab one of these, one of these, one of those, the ice, cobalt, the plants, and we'll organize it. You see how the game organizes stuff? It's not alphabetical. Super alloy is always first, then comes food. Oh, I need to get aluminum in here. Okay, I'll tell you what. We've got extra resources down here. Let's go find us. Oh, we need to gather one of those. And aluminum. A silicon. Uh, an iron, a titanium. What else do I think I've got cobalt already, don't I? Yeah, I got cobalt. Now organize it. See there, it's not alphabetical. Super alloy, aluminum, food, and that's the way you want to organize your shelter up here. Oh, did I collect the water? No, I didn't. It's kind of weird how this works. I've got the oxygen, but I don't have the water. I guess I'm going to have to make one. Okay, now we'll organize it. See, so far we haven't collected anything, so water that would follow after water. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have any uranium. I need to show that the rods and the uranium are not kept together. Well, anyway, you can, oh dear, I busted my hour again. So we wouldn't put food here, we would put aluminum. I need to start down here. aluminum. And then I will start another series of storage lockers facing the opposite direction. Wait till they turn green. Oh, they're too close. Go turn green once, turn green twice. Small gap. Nope, not really a small gap. So we're going to have to do it at least 3 times. All right, so 1, 2, 3. There we go. We got our small gap. That indicates that you're going to have something else. These 3 lockers are only for aluminum. These 3 are only for super alloy. And then I want to get these to where they're butted up against each other. So when it turns green, you back up one. See there? And for some reason, they really fit nice and tight when they're facing that direction, but not when they're facing that direction. And then, of course, later on when your little sign thing opens up, you would straddle it kind of like so. And notice what comes after aluminum, space food. And that's what you would name this, space food. Now later, space food, you're going to run out of it, most likely, because that's your primary food source right now. And you're going to replace it with high quality food, because that's what you're going to be making. But you got to do vegetables and stuff for a while. And I just go ahead and put vegetables in the same locker. And when I start making the high quality food, it goes in the same locker. And once the space food runs out and it doesn't look like we're going to come up with any more of it, even though you can and will, then I would probably leave space food alone. I just leave that word in there. But because you could always go back and you could add another sign to indicate that it's okay to put more than one thing in there. See there? And the next thing we would probably put in there would be the high quality food that we're going to be autocrafting. And to indicate that that's not the only thing that you can find in there, because before you start making high quality food, you're going to be eating vegetables. So then I would just say vegetables, like so. So all three of those options, which are your food sources, can be found in there. And you just continue the process. Now, after food, according to the game, and you've got this organized, you'd want to put cobalt. Oh dear, I don't have any iron in here. I kind of need to have iron to show that it does not come in alphabetically. All right, let's see. We got iron right there. And as an example, I'll just go ahead and start. Oh, I must be full. Okay, now come up here and get into your inventory and organize it. You see where iron shows up? It comes after all of this other stuff, way down here. And then right after it comes oxygen. Now, if I had some uranium, I think uranium might show up right in here somewhere before the rods do, because the rods for uranium or iridium don't always come together like you might think they should. So my next set of three would be cobalt, and the next set of three after that would be fabric, and then I would have this under miscellaneous. I wouldn't put it in here. I'd put it over here. And it would, this one and this one would stay in here. Oh, wait a minute. Look right here. All right. Oh, I need to get rid of all this back in here. And organize it. And do I have anything else? No, I don't have any other rods. See what I mean? The rods come first, then comes silicon, then comes titanium. See what there? So the more choices you have, the more weird their organization is going to be, according to the game. So now I need to put all this food in here. Oops, not drop it. Got it. There it is. Now, if you organize it the way the game organizes it in your avatar's inventory, it makes it a whole lot easier to download stuff. And like I said, once you got some vegetables growing, and we do have some eggplant, but I really need the other stuff too. But for now, this is the only place all of that would show up. Now the first one here is I put the eggplant. The second one here, nothing. And the third one has all the space food. But normally you would start all the way on the left, and once that locker is full, then you would start on the second one and then the third one. And even with 4 players multiplying the same game, 3 lockers are usually plenty because they're withdrawing resources out of here in order to craft something or to consume food or to consume water, just all kinds of stuff. So everything by anybody but one person who is managing the store, so to speak, would go in there. Now I can't put a sign up here because it messes me up. It won't let me pass through here. Like I demonstrated, I think, fairly well. Okay, we've really busted our hour, and we busted our hour pretty good. So I'm hoping I said enough because I really like how this is done. Now the only thing I haven't shown is, can the signs set on top? No, it's kind of hard to get them to set on top. They want to bounce back up against some building or something, like they're being held by nails or something. Now, all of these items are considered to be the same item. It's the food item. and that's why they're being stored together. Okay, so what do you think? Good show and tell? And have we unlocked anything while I've been doing all this gabbing, all this show and tell? I think I've already got that, don't I? Oh, no, I didn't. So I need to back up and put this down. And I would put it right about like so. And then we can start looking at our messages. We've already looked at that one. Here's another one. And this is from Riley. And I don't know who Riley is. Is it a girlfriend? Is it a wife? Is it another employee that he's friends with? And sending him all kinds of good information so he can avoid problems. But see what happens once you read the message. Okay, we just don't know who Riley is. But eventually, SendCorp is going to prevent her messages from getting to you. They did not provide a transmitter, so you cannot communicate with anybody anyway. The only thing you could do is receive messages. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and call this good and end the game right here for now. We want to save it, exit to the main menu after pressing the escape key. And at this point, I'll say be well until next time.